Hi, I'm Stephen. I'm an alcoholic. Been right down to the depth of the bottle, bottom of the bottle. Nearly died. Come back, which is absolutely incredible. I'm trying to help people here. I'm trying to help people everywhere. They got off the drink. It's a killer. Nearly killed me. 2019, I was taken to hospital until I was seriously ill with liver issues. That was the October. I'm going to talk about the 7 days from hell. And when people say to me, "Oh, I don't mind drinking. I've got to die of something," well, I nearly did die. I tell you something, it's not funny. It's not like having a heart attack and you're just suddenly gone. I've seen people die of liver disease. I've seen people die of alcohol-related disease. It's a long, painful death. We're going back to Christmas 2019. I was admitted to hospital in October. I got out for Christmas. Got out, I think it was a prison cell, wasn't it? It was similar to a prison. And I was discharged just before Christmas, and I was told to ring the hospital up if I had any complications, because I had a follow-up in February. Christmas time I started to feel this ascites fluid build up again, which I've talked about in other videos, which is a problem you get when you've got liver failure basically. And my daughter was coming up with a partner, and I thought I've got to get at least see them maybe for the last time. I was staying at my parents. I couldn't look after myself. That was stress in itself, staying with elderly parents when you've been away for 30 odd years. Anyway, when my daughter had gone on Boxing Day or something, I felt desperately low. I didn't feel well at all. I knew I had this appointment with the doctors later on into the new year. So I went upstairs. I'll never forget, I was in bed for 7 days. I mean, I managed to get from the bedroom to the loo, that was about it. I didn't come downstairs. And in the new year, the nurses were coming in to take blood tests for kidney function. Now, when you get this ascites fluid, it's worth googling it. Ascites, C-I-T-E-S. Ascites fluid. Just put ascites fluid alcoholic, it'll come up. When you get this ascites fluid, it's very dangerous. And basically, what happens is it damages your kidneys. It can cause kidney failure, basically. So they're taking that. We're coming every 2 days. My arms were so thin. I've gone down to 9 stone, all black and blue and this sort of thing. And they never asked if I'd been out of bed, and my stomach was getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So over the 7 days, I was thinking, how am I going to get out of this room? Because my parents had a stair lift, but I was so weak, I was thinking, I could only get in the stair lift. I was thinking all these crazy scenarios about maybe getting the fire brake to lift me out of the bedroom, you know. I was so big with this fluid. It was incredible. So I think it was about the 8th of January, I said to my father, can you bring me the landline up? And I rang 999. It was just COVID just started around that time, early 2020. And I got in 999. It came within 10 minutes. And there was 2 female paramedics. So I had this massive stomach, I was still quite light. They said, you've got to sit on this, stair seat thing, chairlift thing. Sorry. And so I managed to get in there, and I felt so weak. Even coming down, half a dozen stairs was really, really, really worrying for me. And my stomach was so big, it was incredible. Very hard to the touch. So I had this fluid drained off a few weeks before that, but it built up again, but much bigger. I had this massive hernia as well, so they managed to get me in the ambulance. And they took me into the emergency hospital, or one of the emergency hospitals in the northeast. Straight in, I was given a bed straight away. There was no triage, it was just like, this guy needs a bed, bang, bang, bang. More blood tests, this and the other. And later that afternoon, Dr. came and said there's an incredible amount of fluid in there, really, really. They called it gross ascites. And he's still going to have to drain that off. He said, well, there's so much in there, I can't take it all off. It's too dangerous, because when they take the ascites fluid off, you have to have something called albumin infused to balance things up, otherwise you can have a seizure and go into a coma. So for every few litres of ascites fluid to drain off, you have to have some quantity of albumin to balance it, basically. It's a bit technical, I don't know the ins and outs of the measurements, but it's worth having a look at. So they had all these bottles of albumin it took 8 hours. I got about, I think it was 26 litres, 25 litres or something off. Now, 7 days I was in that hospital, and they said they needed to do more drains. He said it was dangerous to do more drains within a sort of 10-day period again, He said, there's so much fluid on there, we're going to have to risk doing another drain. Now this drain consists of putting a long needle into your abdomen and draining off this fluid. So I'm lying in hospital. I mean, I looked, I got my daughter, as I was, I was on my last legs. She describes it as this massive swollen stomach and, tiny arms and legs, tiny limbs. Again, Google it and have a look at ascites and what people look like. So they drained another load off, kind of about 13 litres or something. That took nearly 40 litres of fluid. So then they said, you're going to have to stay in hospital a bit longer. You're so ill. Again, COVID just kicked in. I got transferred to another hospital, which was like a long stay, and they put older patients, people who were really, I would say on the last legs basically. A lot of people died in that hospital where I was. I was in there for about 6 to 8 weeks, and they were trying to get my sodium level up. They did another drain again. So that was 3 drains I'd had over a period of about 4 weeks, I think, 3 weeks or something. And they took off, I think, 40, in total about 50 litres. Imagine the weight of 50 litres is 50 kilos weight from my stomach. What a carry-on. So I was in there. I got institutionalised in that hospital when I was in there for 8 weeks. And it became normal for me to just have a couple of hours sleep, because you don't sleep properly in hospital, and I felt ill all the time. They were doing these daily blood tests for kidney function. I mean, daily. So you can imagine every morning you wake up, the phlebotomists, they call these blood people, come in, wake you up at 6 o'clock in the morning, and they take blood off you. Very painful, you haven't got much muscle mass there, and your arms are all black and blue and all this sort of thing. And I had a cannula in all the time, so they could take the blood out. Always check this. It was very, very crucial, this sodium level. I could never get the sodium level up to 135, where it should have been. And I was just in there, I was trying to eat as much as possible, but I felt sick, and they were giving me these diuretics, which is water tablets to try and bring the ascites down. It just wasn't coming down. Because when the liver gets shrunken, it's not processing anything. That's the way it works, basically. It just wasn't coming down. The sodium level was stable, it was going up and down, and the weight every day as well, it was constant. I was on 4-hourly observations for weeks and weeks and weeks. Every 4 hours to wake you up, do your blood pressure, the temperature, the pulse, all that sort of thing. It didn't take long, but it's disturbance all the time. You get back to sleep at 3 o'clock in the morning, and then they'd come along for 6 for the blood, 7 o'clock you'd come along and feed you. It was just incredibly tiring. And I just got so down with it all. A couple of people in my ward died, younger than me. I didn't suffer jaundice, which is pretty lucky really. But when I left after 8 weeks, I went to say goodbye to him. He died later on actually, but his eyes, the whites of his eyes were completely yellow. As yellow as a fluorescent jacket. Seriously, really bad. It was haunting to watch him. At that time I was 58 and he was 32. He was a big wine drinker. He stopped suddenly, had a seizure in his kitchen, so his wife had found him later that day, and he'd been drinking for years, drinking wine. And there's another guy, a chemist. He died as well. He used to just sit, apparently he used to sit and drink wine in front of his computer all the time, and it took him to an early grave. So to sit here as I am now and talk to you and try and help you is an honour for me, because I was so far gone. And I just look back sometimes and I think, how did I survive? But I can get you there if you give me a chance to help you, because you need to focus and you need to stop for life. Don't think of it, I'm going to go and have a drink again. Break it down to one day at a time. If you don't stop for life, you're going to shorten your life. It's going to be horrendous. I wouldn't go back for an hour of what I did, or what I went through in 2019, 2020, if they give me all of the tea in China, because I just could not face it. How unwell I felt, how unwell I looked, how constantly the nurses and doctors were at me. They had to be. They were saving my life. It was just constant. I'm very, very surprised I'm still here, but I haven't relapsed. That's the secret. Even if you've got very, very serious liver disease, if you keep off the booze, give yourself a fighting chance. That's the only way you can get through. Okay? Be positive. Cut down. If you are, so I would say physically or chemically addicted to it, then you've got to get some medical help if you can. But you can cut down a little bit. But cut down very slowly. If you're feeling unwell, you know where to ring. And don't be afraid to ring the doctor. Don't be afraid to ring the emergency services. That's what they're there for. You get all this media thing. Everyone's so busy. They are busy. But if you're desperately ill, you need help. Sometimes the A&E is busy with people who don't need that much help. You know yourself. You know, people go in there with a broken fingernail, and a lot of it is emergency. I'm not saying it's not emergencies. A lot of it is, but a lot of it isn't. A lot of it's time wasting as well. If you're really ill with the booze, the chances are you may die. If you've got this fluid, if you're having seizures, you must get some help. If you benefit from the channel, then please subscribe and share it. I've got an ebook out which is useful. I'll put the link in the description, and I'll speak to you all very soon. Be positive, go for a walk, get healthy, look to the future.